How do you be funny when you're not naturally funny? Now, I'm not funny. In fact, I'll show you how unfunny I actually am. How many people does it take to screw in a light bulb? One. See? Not funny. So how do you make a presentation really humorous, just funny in general, even though you're just not a naturally funny person? Well, first thing is that expectations, they really matter. In fact, I'm going to show you a presentation that I did with Aflac and with Remax, and I'm going to show you how the expectations really matter, because when you are in front of a bigger crowd, well, bigger crowds, they naturally want to laugh, and they naturally have this expectation of, okay, this speaker, well, hopefully he's going to be pretty entertaining. So they're much more willing to laugh when it's a bigger audience versus if there's like 20 people in the audience. You can be sarcastic, but if you are, you have to be sarcastic with yourself. This is a clip from Aflac, and what you're about to see is just me being sarcastic, just making a sarcastic joke with myself, and this just naturally happened.
If you catch this, just stand up. Wow, that was pretty far.
So you see, what happened was I just tossed a piece of paper, a newspaper, out into the audience in order to pick someone, and it didn't go far. And I wasn't expecting that. I mean, I thought I tossed it pretty hard, and it only went to the person in the first table. So I just, first thing that popped into my head was, wow, that was pretty far. So I was just being sarcastic with myself, and people just laughed at it. I wasn't trying to be funny. When you are a speaker and you're not naturally funny, when you're making a presentation and you're just not a funny guy, don't try to make things funny. Don't try to be the comedian. Just be who you are, and then just have a sense of humor about yourself. If you are sarcastic with the audience and with other people, then you just come across as an a-hole. So make sure you're just sarcastic with yourself. And then I kind of just mentioned this earlier, is you want to just let it happen naturally. When I was doing a thing for Remax, which I'm about to show you, there was this point in the presentation where he read this thing off a piece of paper, and there was a pause. And so I said something during the pause, and people just naturally laughed. So let me show you the presentation.
Read out loud what that says.
Today is March 22nd, and I will have 3 people go on an ultimate vacation.
Got to build suspense.
So you'll notice that there was just a little pause, and just right there I said, oh, just building suspense. And once again, it was the first thing that popped into my head. I didn't try to insert that joke before the presentation. I didn't say, oh, here's what's going to happen. This is going to be funny. It just naturally happened. So when you just allow things to naturally happen in your presentation, then funny moments just pop up. And that brings me to this thing. You always want to record your presentations, or at least have a pretty good memory, because some things are going to happen in your presentation where the audience they're just going to laugh. You're not going to expect it. They're just going to laugh. Something happens, maybe someone said something, someone did something, or like with the Aflac where I tossed the newspaper out and then it just didn't go far, and I just said, well, that went pretty far. So something like that, when that happens and people laugh, you kind of just make a mental note of it, or if you record your presentation, you can now say, oh, I got to do that again. So I'm going to do that again with what I did with Aflac. I'm going to do that with all the presentations now. If I take out a newspaper and I toss it, and I'm going to purposefully not toss it to really far, and I'm just going to say that, because things like that will naturally happen in your presentation. With the Remax thing, that was the first time that happened. I did it again with Aflac, because once again, things naturally happen in your presentation.
Just read out loud what that says.
Today is March 7th, 2015, and all of us at Aflac will go on an ultimate vacation.
Got to build suspense.
Ultimately, the way you're gonna make your presentation really funny and just humorous in general is to not go for the big laughs. You'll notice that I didn't purposefully go for big laughs, nothing like that. You just add humor. You just don't take yourself too seriously. You're not trying to be the next comedian, the next Chris Rock, or anything like that. You just don't take yourself too seriously when you're on stage. If something happens and something pops to your head, just say it. If people laugh, remember it, and then do it over again. That's the way you're going to make your presentations funny if you're not naturally funny.